It's oddly quiet here at Mackey Arena after just a couple hours ago. The paint crew and company here at Mackey Arena were loud and proud for their Purdue Boilermakers, who took down the Ohio State Buckeyes 82-55, one of Ohio State's worst defeats of the season. And Gabe, right there at the forefront, Zach Edey. I mean, one of the best players in the country already. We talked about it in our preview show, just how dominant he can be. He was held in check in the January 5th meeting between these two in Columbus, but he was able to feast with a 26-point, 11-rebound double-double today.
And it's interesting because, Zed Key unavailable today for Ohio State, so a number of guys thrown at him by Chris Holtmann in this Buckeyes squad. Felix Okpara, Owen Spencer off the bench along with Eugene Brown III, and none of them could really do the trick. Purdue was getting it to him early and often, and he was finishing with force on some of these down here. You did not want to get in his way, and the Buckeyes tried to get in his way to the tune of 19 total free throw attempts for Purdue in the first half. They really just couldn't stop the bleeding, even by throwing their body in the way to keep him from getting it in the hoop.
Right. Purdue, 21 of 27, a 78% clip in that regard from the free throw line. A really big portion of that end of half scoring run in which they outscored Ohio State 18-9 after Ice Likely cut it to a 2-point game in that first half. And then it was off to the races for Purdue in the second half.
Absolutely. We've seen this over and over again this season from Ohio State, trying to stem the flow of a game late in the first half. They just haven't been very good at, the offensive side of maneuvering that kind of chess battle. And Bryce Sensabaugh got in a little bit of foul trouble as well. He picked up his third foul in the first half. So if you lose one of your stars offensively, that can kind of slow you down a little bit. But Ohio State, the gears just weren't turning offensively at all today.
Right, and you talk about Bryce Sensabaugh just in that brief passing. 4 freshmen started for Ohio State today in this hostile environment on the road against the number 3 team in the country. Chris Holtmann was asked about it post-game, what his thoughts were on that lineup, and he said he has a lot of thoughts, but he said he thought they gave them energy, and they jump out to that 5-0 run to begin with a couple turnovers, but it's just all downhill from there. Bryce Sensabaugh, yes, he has 20, but with the foul trouble keeping him off the floor, it wasn't enough. Roddy Gale Jr. provided some energy, something
Absolutely.
Chris Holtmann said has been one of his best traits. Felix Okpara, he can only do so much against one of the best players in the country in Zach Edey. And then Bruce Thornton just kind of patrolling that offense, leading the point. I mean, what more can you ask from these freshmen, just kind of going through sort of the dog days of a season in this learning curve?
And one thing Ohio State could have used was more offensively from Justice Suing, one of their veteran leaders. And, you have some games where the ball just doesn't drop through the hoop. Had a couple nice jump shots, but other than that, wasn't really getting in the rhythm and the flow of the game. And same for Bryce Sensabaugh. He got 20. He's a gifted, skilled scorer, but if you're not in the flow and getting into your spots, he had some nice turnarounds, but he wasn't getting to the rim, getting to the free throw line very often, and that can kind of weigh on you when you're in the game, out of the game, and you're not sure when you're really going to be able to go full 100% of the time.
Yep. Back-to-back big losses for Ohio State. They fall 82-55 to the Purdue Boilermakers. They're back at the Schottenstein Center this Thursday, where they're going to try and end that 8-game losing streak against the Penn State Nittany Lions. We'll have all the coverage for you here at Lantern Sports. This has been the Lantern Sports post-game show from Mackey Arena. For Gabe Burggraf, I'm Casey Smith. Until next time, take care.